Hey guys, welcome to the second video in the Tanner Tee video series, how to use your batting tee like a pro. Now, in the first video, we talked about tee placement, we talked about contact points, and if you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend going back to take a look because that information, that knowledge is gonna be really helpful and useful for this video. In this video, we are talking about increasing that hot zone, increasing the area of pitches that we handle well, that we do damage, not only from a mechanical aspect, but from a visual aspect, knowing what pitches we can handle well. All right, so picture a strike zone. We got a strike zone up here, right? Most of us handle that middle pitch, right? We can do that well. The better hitters can expand that hot zone inside the normal strike zone of pitches they handle well, and that is the ultimate goal here. We're taking that ball middle, we're trying to expand a little bit more of pitches that we can do damage with. So there's three things that we are going to focus on in this video. The first area of focus is we are going to move the tee after every swing. So we're not just going to sit there and fall into a pattern of swinging at the same pitch. What this is going to do, this is going to work on barrel awareness, barrel accuracy. As you start getting a little bit older, you will understand that barrel accuracy is one of the most important things, understanding where your barrel is. So we're gonna start right in the middle. We're gonna have the ideal contact point. We're working in that contact lane diagonal that we talked about in the first video because we're working on that A swing. So we're gonna take our swing here, and then from there we are gonna move the ball. So I'm gonna work along that diagonal, I'm gonna work away a little bit, stay along that diagonal, I'm gonna elevate, and we're gonna do the same thing. Take another swing. All right, if you notice, I am hitting into this Tanner Tee pop-up net. This thing is amazing, super portable, easy to throw in the back of the car, comes in a real small carrying case. It took me 3 minutes to put together, super easy, convenient. Take it to a park, put it in your garage, it's awesome. So I highly recommend these, especially if you wanna hit on the go and you don't have like your own batting cage at your house or something that that you have access to. So this is a really nice feature. Highly recommend it. So the second area of focus is making sure that launch position is consistent and is the same every single time. So what I'm talking about here is I want to make sure when this front foot's down, my hands are back, and I'm ready to fire forward to the strike zone, right? This is going to be consistent every time. If it's not consistent, now my hands, my barrel, it's not as clean getting to the strike zone every time. It's going to be a little different. If I can get to this spot, now all of a sudden my body gets used to, okay, how can I deliver the barrel to different pitches within the strike zone? That is super key. Now, something to pay attention to when you do have the tee and you're working off the tee. Right now, this is set up on the outer third of the plate. It's easy when I'm working off a tee to make this pitch a little bit easier to handle. So maybe I step close a little bit so I can have that kind of that perfect feel in the box, right? Or if the ball is inside, let's say I'm pulling it and I feel like it's crowding me just a little bit, I open up to try to get to this pitch. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure we get to that consistent launch position every time. From here, we get here, this first move is going to be the same. We're coming here, now our hands are going to work to the ball, barrel is going to work to the ball. So we want to get that consistent launch position every time. That is the second key. Number 3 is standing in the same spot in the batter's box. This is huge. We touched on it in the first video. The key here, what we're trying to add on to, if we can be in the same spot in the batter's box, we're starting to learn strike zone awareness here, right? We touched on that in the first video. But what the eventual goal is, we're trying to find that window, area that we handle well in the strike zone, and we're starting to push it out. We want to be able to see that strike zone window in front of us and as close as we can to the pitcher's release point. So when we get into batting practice, when we get into in-game against a live arm pitcher, we're able to identify as early as we can whether the pitch is going to be a strike or a ball. And not only a strike, as you get better, a strike that we want to swing at. Early in the count, just because the ball is a strike, the pitch is a strike, doesn't mean we have to swing at it. We want to get the pitch that we can handle and that we can do damage early in the count. 2 strikes, all bets are off. We're just trying to put the ball in play. We're trying to swing at strikes and take balls. So now a drill that I like to do to hone in on improving our hot zone is low tee, high tee. Now I like to start with the low tee because this really engages my lower half. I'm really trying to drive this knee underneath, get my hands working through the ball, and I'm trying to drive a ball on a slightly elevated line drive to, if we were in a full batting cage, the upper back portion of the net, not hitting it off the top, but hitting it in the upper back portion of the net. Off this pop-up net right here, I'm trying to hit the upper half, upper third, but again, it's a line drive, not a pop fly. Then from there, remember, we're gonna move the tee around, but then we're going to the high tee. And again, if our launch position is correct, we get to the same spot every time. Now we get to this ball. And what we're trying to do here, again, we're trying to hit that same trajectory line drive to the back of the batting cage or the top of this pop-up net. All right, so as we're working the high, low tee, start to move the ball around. Remember, the goal here is we're trying to work middle, that hot zone location that all of us have, and then we're trying to gradually work out and try to get that hot zone where we can put our A+ swing, try to make that a little bit bigger. Keep it on that diagonal so we're able to get our best swings off. But now you're gonna start to realize, do you handle the pitch in a little bit better, or do you handle the pitch away a little better? Do you like it elevated? Do you like it slightly lower in the strike zone? So all these things are gonna be unique to you. But as you start to move it around, start to notice when that 100% A+ swing turns into maybe 90 or 95% of your best swing. Maybe you lost posture a little bit, you felt like you had to get there. Maybe you slightly felt crowded or jammed yourself, and it's not 100%. Right there, maybe leave the tee there for another 2 or 3 swings just to try to figure out, okay, how can I get to this pitch? Then move the ball back around again and then get back to that pitch again and see if it's better. So being able to get off that A swing on more pitches than the strike zone is gonna make you a better hitter, and it's gonna allow you to do more damage, more doubles, more triples, more balls in the gap. More fun, and it's gonna make you an overall polished hitter.